And I think we need to pay actual careful attention to this. The Wrighting, R-I-G-H-T-I-N-G, the THERIGHTING.com is a website their slogan is top news headlines from the far right for the rest of us. In other words, we'll read the right-wing news so you don't have to. And I get their newsletter every morning, and the one this morning, these are the top stories on the top right-wing websites today. World at Daily, LGBTQ indoctrination is working. A Gallup poll finds an 800% hike in young Americans claiming alternative identification. Well, that's great. It means people are coming out of the closet, right? People are not fearful. But no, they say it's indoctrination. Front page, the left's urgent mission to sexualize children. As Pride Month begins, the left's predatory designs on our kids accelerate. Clash Daily, men's names are being overtaken by women. And and it just goes on from there with this kind of stuff. And I'm like, where did this come from? Well, it turns out this started over on 4chan, the same place where Qanon started. And it's a conspiracy is, well, I suppose it's an appropriate word, called Operation Pridefall. This is Pride Month. This is June. It's Pride Month. And so Operation Pridefall, which the planning for which began on May 10th. So this began the planning for this began about 3 weeks ago. Let's push this national. Let's push this out to basically just trash the LGBTQ community. Go after gender minorities. Go after people who don't identify as straight, and particularly as male and straight. And apparently it's working. Apparently Operation Pridefall has now moved from the fringe of 4chan into the semi-mainstream of far-right websites. It's another signal to us. When I started the show, my rant over on HartmannReport.com today about when a political party or a nation are more obsessed with identity than they are with issues, something is going on. And just like with race in the last segment, this whole issue of gender identity is another issue that conservatives, as they have done throughout history, are using to try to tear people apart, try to pit Americans against each other. Now, I'm guessing, frankly, that the racial issue will work better for them than going after gay people and the whole spectrum of LGBTQ people. We saw this being cranked up against trans people over the last few months with all this legislation that was being proposed with regard to children's sports, young people's sports and things like that. But it's just like, hate is their business. And so I wanted you to know where this is coming from, because if this is popping up like this, in this way, at this level, on these kinds of websites today, then it's going to be probably in a week or two, it's going to start popping up on mainstream media. And you're going to see the modern day versions of Rick Santorum out there, talking about the predatory left promoting a LGBTQ agenda, etc. And all I can do is warn you about it and condemn it. This is all they've got. This is literally all the right has these days, is selling hate.
You're listening to the Thom Hartmann Program. Call 202-808-9925.
And the sad news is, if you look at history, it has worked. I mean, it worked for Hitler, it worked for Mussolini, it worked for Franco, it worked for Trump.